negative. Sorry, I am currently playing with my DS right now, so I'm like totally out of it. But anyway, this is my reaction rant to Legends of Tomorrow Season 1, Episode 13, titled Leviathan. My previous video was supposed to be the reaction rant for this, but I ended up somewhat ranting again about stuff that's happened when it came to my recordings on another show, Fear the Walking Dead. It's all in the previous video, so if you want an explanation about that, look at the video before this one. There you go. But anyway, this is for Leviathan, so let's get on to it. The team travels to London, 2166. As we remember in the last episode, Rip said for sure the one place they'll definitely find Vandal Savage is 2166. So they end up going there in London, 2166, to try to eliminate Savage just before he finally takes over the world. So that little nick of time, just before he finally takes over the entire world, happens to be in London. And we actually learn in the episode that London, before London became, before it became like ground zero for actual rebellion, Tokyo was actually part of them, but then Tokyo got taken over, and then London's now the only one left. Tokyo. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, Tokyo, out of all places, well, Tokyo does have a lot of good tech. You would think that, Tokyo be one of the first places to be conquered, right next to the, the US. I'm just saying, because Tokyo's very advanced with their tech. I'm just saying, if you want to take over somewhere, take over a place that has badass tech. I mean, I think they're even more evolved than we are here in the US. I'm just saying. But anyway, while they're investigating Savage, Kendra, who's back on the ship, this is so funny, like, Rip, Sarah, what's his face, Snart, and Rory, they go undercover and pretend they're like soldiers while Savage is doing a speech. And while that speech is happening, Kendra notices on the screen, because she's back on the Wave Rider, she notices that the female officer that's standing right next to Savage, because when you see Savage doing his speech, he has this one soldier that has like a helmet on their face, and the other one's a female, obviously because she has no helmet, like a blonde female next to him. And Kendra notices that she's wearing a bracelet that she originally wore when she first died in ancient Egypt. So like she ends up having a flashback, and during that flashback when she dies, you obviously see the bracelet, kind of see the bracelet around her wrist when she died in Egypt. So she's like, the only way to kill Savage is to use items that, were there and that were either owned or were there the first time she and Carter died, right? So obviously she had the bracelet when she first died, so she's like, here's the key to killing him. Since they don't have the dagger, let's use a bracelet, guys. But anyway, they're very skeptical because, it's a bracelet. What the hell are they going to do with a bracelet to kill Savage? They understand that the bracelet was on Kendra when she first died in Egypt, right? So that means it could kill Savage. But they're like, what the hell are we going to do with a bracelet? But since it's their only lead, the team plans to pretty much retrieve that bracelet, hoping it will, help them kill Savage, even though they're kind of skeptical because it's a freaking bracelet. It's like, what the hell is the bracelet going to do? Sharpen it and poke him with it? Huh? I don't know. But anyway, while they're at it, they actually run into and are pretty much bombarded by a group of rebels, the last remaining rebels that are literally in London. They pretty much get ambushed by these rebels and manage to convince them, we're the good guys, we're trying to defeat Savage and all that. So they end up joining forces with the rebels, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Star Wars a bit. I don't know if I should say Star Wars, considering, Star Wars is bought by Disney. And Disney seems to hate me! I remember when you guys freaking got mad at me for my Once Upon a Time reaction rant video. I got my first strike because of you guys. Damn you, Disney! But anyway, it kind of does remind me of Star Wars. Relax, Disney. To be fair, though, the whole rebel thing in Star Wars, that was before you took over Star Wars, so don't you start. But anyway, yeah, Star Wars, that whole rebel thing happened in Star Wars before you bought them, so you can't get mad at me for this. But anyway, the local rebel thing kind of reminds me of Star Wars. I'm just saying. You know, join the rebels, rebellion, all that good stuff. But anyway, Snart becomes highly suspicious of that female officer that's with, pretty much the female right-hand man to, Savage. Because, during the whole speech, when they were leaving, when Savage, that masked person, and the female officer were leaving, that female officer that has the bracelet, she actually made eyes at Snart, and so I was like, holy shit, she totally made us, guys. And the others are like, relax, she didn't make us, come on now. But like, Snart was actually on the money, because he actually figured out that that female actually knew who the entire team was. Because she actually does mention Snart by name. And, they actually managed to, kidnap her. And while, I think it was Snart and Rip, while they're interrogating her, they find out that she's just not an ordinary second-in-command officer. She is actually Vandal Savage's daughter. Vandal Savage, the immortal bastard, actually has a kid. I actually knew about this in the comics, like, before the New 52, it has been confirmed before New 52 in the comics that Vandal Savage had at least 2 known children. If you guys remember the demon Grendel, you know that demon Grendel from the story of Beowulf? Apparently in DC Comics, the Grendel from Beowulf is actually one of Vandal Savage's kids. Yeah. And then apparently he has another kid that he, out of all his children, apparently there are 2 known children of Vandal Savage in the comics, and this is before the New 52. With the New 52 continuity, there are actually 3, but before New 52, there are 2 of them. One of them being Grendel. The other known child of Vandal Savage before the New 52 is the one child that Vandal Savage considers his only true heir. And it is a daughter, but her name is Scandal Savage. Here in Legends of Tomorrow, the daughter's name is Cassandra. But I will get to that in a moment. But in the comics, before New 52, Scandal Savage is the daughter of Vandal Savage, and the only one of his children that he considers his heir. And he's trained her in combat since she was like a young child. Scandal is actually also a member of the Secret Six. And I believe she's in a relationship with another member, I forgot what her name was. Not Roadblock, all I know is like this other female member of the Secret Six Scandal's in a relationship with. And not only that, Scandal Savage is also not only in a relationship with another female member of the Secret Six, she actually has a polygamy marriage with that member of the Secret Six and another girl. I don't know, I forgot the name of the other girl, but from what I remember, Scandal Savage had a relationship with another female from the Secret Six. I forgot the name of that female. I know that female has a code name. I just don't remember. But that one female member ended up like getting killed or something like that. And during that time where that Secret Six member was killed, Scandal ended up with another relationship with another female. And then that previous one from the Secret Six ends up coming back to life. And when she came back to life, Scandal's all telling the current girl that she was with and, you know, her past love, hey, let's have a polygamy marriage. So Scandal Savage ends up in a polygamy marriage with 2 different women, one of them being part of the Secret Six. And, yeah. But anyway, with the New 52, Vandal Savage with the New 52 actually has another daughter, and her name is Cassandra. In the comics, her name is Cassandra Sage, and she's an FBI agent who unfortunately reluctantly consults with her imprisoned father on a case, right? So, yeah. From what we know in the comics, from before and after the New 52, we know that Vandal Savage has 3 known children. Scandal Savage, Grendel from Beowulf, and Cassandra Sage. And judging by the fact that in this episode, Savage's daughter's name is Cassandra, I'm only guessing that this is not Scandal, but Cassandra Sage in this show. But anyway, actually, now that I think about it, I think it's a mix between Scandal and Cassandra, because although in this episode of Legends of Tomorrow, Savage's daughter is named Cassandra, she has a lot of Scandal Savage's personality. Like, you know, she was trained, like she says in the episode, she's been trained by her father since she was a little girl, which was only the background story of Scandal Savage. So I think that this Cassandra Savage here is a cross between her namesake, Cassandra Sage, which is the daughter, the known daughter of the New 52, and Scandal Savage, which is the true heir of Vandal Savage before the New 52. That's in my honest opinion. But anyway, she's very reluctant to believe Snart when Snart says that, you know, your father's a bad guy because, you know, not Scandal, Savage's daughter Cassandra, hang on, wait. She says the bad guy was Perdigaden. Remember that young kid that they were supposed to kidnap and kill because he was, like, being tutored by Vandal Savage? She believes that Perdigaden was the bad guy that unleashed the virus that decimated the planet by himself. You know, she believed Perdigaden was the one that unleashed the virus and killed everyone by himself, and that her father was the good guy that went against him. You know what I mean? But Snart was able to convince her, you know, yes, Perdigaden did do the whole virus thing, but it was actually your father's idea to unleash that virus. It was your father all along, and he's the one that pulled the strings on Perdigaden. So he managed to, Snart managed to convince Cassandra into assisting them by pretty much showing Savage's, her father's true nature. And I realize I'm partially running out of time now, because I was ranting about the Savage girl. But anyway, this will most likely be in a second video. So, get ready for part 2, guys. Later on, hang on, wait, in the meantime, Kendra finds a way to, she has a flashback of when, Carter, in one of their past lives, I think like 1940 or something, where, apparently they were supposed to celebrate their, anniversary or something like that, and, turns out he was, practicing with his mace, right? And it turns out that the mace, at one point in their lifetime, he actually gave it to Kendra as a wedding anniversary gift, and also an apology gift for forgetting, because in the words of Carter in the past, we've had so many wedding anniversaries, it's hard to keep track of all of them. But to be fair, that is a good excuse, because they've been reincarnated so many times, they have so many wedding anniversaries, of course he's gonna forget one. But anyway, Kendra finds out a way to use the bracelet, because they managed to get the bracelet, right? So, what she plans to do with the bracelet is she asks Rory to help her melt the bracelet and use the melted gold of the bracelet and coat Carter's mace with it so they could use the bracelet-coated mace to kill Savage. Which I think is pretty cool, and it's really cool to see Kendra with the mace, you guys. Kendra is with the mace. Everyone knows that in the comic books and in animation and all that, Hot Girl herself had the mace, so it's pretty cool to finally see Hot Girl with the mace, and the fact that it's coated with the melted down bracelet, which is a pretty cool idea. Like, they're always wondering what the hell they're gonna do with the bracelet, because the only thing they have to kill Savage is a bracelet. So it's really cool that the fact that they melted it down and coated an actual weapon with it, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, because I am actually running out of time, so bye, BooTube.